My therapist told our group session that one person here is faking their trauma. Then she said we had to identify them or no one gets treatment. Dr. Vanessa walked into the community center basement at 8 o'clock on Thursday night carrying a clipboard, and this expression I'd never seen before. Cold, clinical. The 8 of us were already sitting in our usual circle. The same people who'd been meeting every week for 6 months. People I'd cried with, shared my darkest moments with, trusted. Tonight's session will be different, Dr. Vanessa announced. She set the clipboard on her chair. I've been reviewing your cases, and I've discovered that one person in this room has been lying about their trauma from the beginning. Someone here is faking it for attention, sympathy, or some other reason I haven't determined yet. The room went silent. You have 2 hours to identify who it is. If you can't agree on the faker, I'm terminating treatment for everyone affected immediately. Your insurance won't cover sessions with another therapist because you'll be flagged as non-compliant. She checked her watch. I'll be in my office upstairs. Decide wisely. Then she left. For the first few minutes, nobody moved. We just sat there staring at each other. Rachel broke the silence first. This is insane. She can't actually do this. But nobody responded because we all knew Dr. Vanessa held our medical records, our diagnoses, our prescriptions. She had total control. I pressed my back against my chair and tried to steady my breathing. This therapy group was the only thing keeping me functional after my sister's death. Without it, I'd fall apart completely. Then Kevin spoke up. Okay, let's just talk this through rationally. Someone here has been lying, so let's figure out who. His voice was calm, but there was something in his eyes I didn't recognize. Something calculating. I think we should go around the circle and defend ourselves. Explain why our trauma is real. The moment he said it, I felt sick. We were actually going to do this. We were going to tear each other apart because a therapist told us to. The interrogation started gentle. Rachel talked about her childhood abuse, the scars on her arms she'd shown us months ago. Kevin talked about his military deployment, the nightmares that woke him up screaming. Everyone nodded along, sympathetic, supportive. But then Bryce interrupted. Wait, Kevin, you said you were deployed to Afghanistan in 2018, but the combat missions ended in 2014. How were you seeing active combat? Kevin's face went red. I never said active combat. I said deployment. Bryce shook his head. No, you specifically described firefights. I remember because my brother was actually there during active combat. The energy shifted instantly. Kevin stammered through an explanation, but Bryce kept pushing, kept poking holes. Other people started joining in, questioning details, dates, inconsistencies they'd apparently been cataloging for months. Within 30 minutes, 3 people were crying, 2 were shouting, and Kevin was backed into a corner trying to defend every single story he'd ever told. I stayed quiet as long as I could. But then they came for Melissa, the youngest in our group. She was 19, had been coming to therapy after a sexual assault at college. She'd barely spoken for the first 2 months of sessions. Now people were demanding she prove it happened. You never filed a police report, Bryce said. How convenient. Melissa's hands were shaking. I was scared. I didn't think anyone would believe me. Rachel leaned forward. But you also never went to a hospital, never got a rape kit, never told your parents. That seems suspicious. Melissa started sobbing. Because I was ashamed. Because I blamed myself. But they weren't listening anymore. They'd decided she was the easiest target, the quietest person, the one who couldn't fight back. Kevin, desperate to deflect attention from himself, jumped on the pile. If we're wrong about you, then prove it. Show us something real. They were circling her, demanding evidence of her worst moment, treating her pain as some kind of performance that needed authentication. Something inside me broke. I stood up so fast my chair fell backward. Stop. All of you, just stop. My voice came out louder than I intended, shaking with rage. What are we doing? We've been supporting each other for 6 months and now we're attacking Melissa because some therapist told us to? Bryce turned on me. Then who do you think it is? You've been awfully quiet. I looked around the circle at these people I thought I knew. Kevin, who'd probably exaggerated his stories but clearly had real PTSD. Rachel, whose pain was written all over her body. Melissa, who was currently curled into herself sobbing. All of them broken in different ways. All of them deserving help, even if every detail wasn't perfectly accurate. I think this whole thing is sick, I said. I think Dr. Vanessa is testing us to see if we'll turn on each other, and we're failing. I walked to the door. I'm not playing this game. Melissa, you coming? Dr. Vanessa was standing right outside the door. She'd been there the whole time. You all want to know who the faker is? She looked past me at the others who'd followed us out. Melissa was still crying. Kevin looked ashamed. Rachel and Bryce were staring at the floor. Nobody. Every single one of your traumas is real and documented. But I needed to see who would sacrifice someone else to save themselves. She pointed at the 4 of us who'd walked out. You 4 still have treatment. The rest of you just showed me you're not ready to heal because you're still willing to hurt others to protect yourselves. The session was terminated.